coming up on At Your Leisure.
I'm Rhea Rossi Booth.
And I'm Chad Booth. We are going to take you up into the mountains to the very top, so you're looking down on the whole world.
I'm Brett Pennyfather, checking out a beautiful high mountain trail with the Lone Peak four-wheelers.
And I'm Reece Stein. Coming up, we'll explore the scenic wonders and ancient treasures of southern France on a cruise down the Rhone River.
There are people, there are machines, and we are going to ride Utah.
Is this the coolest logo ever? I love it.
Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Rhea Rossi Booth, and we're out here with Ride Utah, a wonderful ATV club out here in Utah, and we're up in Soapstone.
That's right. We're going to go on some of the Yellowstone trails. The Mirror Lake Highway and the Uinta Forest have all kinds of roads and trails that you can ride. And as long as you ride them with respect and take care of the wildlife, don't leave litter and everything, this will be a relationship we can enjoy for years.
This is a great club, and we are so stoked to be out with these guys today. We were invited, and you know, we rarely turn down an invitation.
This is true. Most groups won't have us.
That's true.
They only ride with us once. Anyway, we ought to find out a little bit about all the riding trails and what the experience is like up here in the Uintas, because if you ain't been here, you've missed out on something.
Utah just has the best country, you know, there's just mountains, desert, red rock. I just love being outdoors. I've always been outdoors. Oh yeah, it always gets me just seeing different areas of the state, the colors. My mom loved the colors, and this time of the season, it's just, I have to be out in it.
And it's just something that's always had my heart. Any time of year. Like I said, this is our first stop. The next 3 or 4 stops that we have are going to be just as good, if not better.
Lightning Ridge is always one of my favorites when we come up here. Pretty much there's another place further down south, they call it the Bear's Hole. Just looks down into a big canyon, nice pretty view. Especially this time of year, you get to see all the pretty colors and everything.
It's been nice. We get to go see a lot of Utah, not a lot of people get to see. It's been nice, just getting out in nature every weekend, doing a lot of different things out here, different places. I've loved it.
There's roads. You can drive up here all day long and never hit the same trail. I think it's a good thing to have as many people as we can get out and explore. Because I mean, look at the state we live in. I've been Montana, Wyoming, Idaho. I couldn't live anywhere else.
I mean, who doesn't want to be in God's country, right? And this is absolutely perfect. It's beautiful, quaking ass pines, but it's invigorating, right? To heal, you have to be outside. Let's just be honest, right? You have to be outside, right? And so it's all about getting the vets outside, a breath of fresh air, something new, instead of the mundane daily grind that they're used to. I think it's fantastic. There's nothing better than the fall colors in the Uintas, in the state of Utah.
Just get out and play, get dirty.
Is it raining or is it snowing?
No, it's rain, but it's heavy rain.
I love it.
It's close to snow.
It's fabulous. I'm going to put my tongue out.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you. Anyway, you know, this trail's got a lot of surprises and a lot of scenes. And we got a lot more exploring to do, but right now it's time for you to go to this week's Where To.
Making the most of the fair weather, Lone Peak Four-Wheelers Club hosted a meet and greet.
We started out in Santaquin. We all met up. We have a group of 36 today. We headed down to Mona and went to the Mona gravel pit where we cut off the road and went to the Mona Pole dirt road, is where we are now.
A perfect location that provided spectacular views of changing foliage.
This particular trail isn't a particularly hard trail. And so it invites those who may not have a lot of experience to come with us.
Even the most seasoned wheelers can't help but to be wowed by the epic beauty of the Mona Pole Trail.
In addition to enjoying the four-wheel driving, I enjoy the people. This particular club, Lone Peak Four Wheelers, has some great people, and today we have some great guests with us.
It's an opportunity to be sociable and include more appreciators to the adventures we all love so much.
Larry Ellerson is our neighbor, and he pulled up in front of another neighbor's house in his big souped-up Jeep. And I said, "You belong in Moab, not in Linden." And he said, "Actually, on Saturday, we're going on a ride, and you should come with us." And we said, "I think we might." So that's how we got invited.
The Lone Peak Four-Wheelers do a great job of including and mentoring potential members.
Today they opened it up more so, and so we've got a lot of non-members, non-club members with us.
There are some real benefits to joining a club and sharing these experiences.
You get to see what other people are doing, how they build their Jeeps. You can learn from them. Everyone makes mistakes. You can take in their mistakes and learn from that so you don't make the same mistakes. It's just a great environment to get out and have support behind you when you're on the trails. If you break down or something, you don't want to be out there by yourself because then you're stuck. All in all, it's just a whole lot better to be on a trail with a group.
It doesn't matter how you get into it at first, whether by invitation or inspiration. There's a lot of fun to be had by joining a group and going for a drive.
I have been drawn into four-wheeling from a brother-in-law down in Moab who was a member of the Red Rock Four-Wheelers, and he kind of got us started 35 years ago or so. And then when I retired from the county commission, Marlon, a club member here, he had been asking me to join the club, and since I was retired, I joined and have thoroughly enjoyed it. And this day is indicative of many of the beautiful days that we have as we go out onto the trail. So it's just very enjoyable. It's something that we do monthly, so it's not like you have to dedicate your whole life to it, but some do more than I do, but I enjoy the freedom that it brings to you as you travel out in the open lands.
New and knowledgeable, all get something out of sharing a beautiful day in the great outdoors.
Mostly, I like the surroundings. This time of year is just stunning, and to be away from the noise of the city and be up here in the beautiful mountains, there's nothing better.
It certainly is difficult to beat getting out and about on a clear fall day. For this week's Where To, I'm Brett Pennyfather.
Expecting a little snow this winter? Then you need a Honda snowblower with fingertip steering controls, electric joystick chute control, convenient one-lever speed and direction control, a super bright LED headlight. All this and backed by Honda's legendary reliability and a 3-year warranty. See your Honda Power equipment dealer or visit online. Honda snowblowers. Very smart.
Wondering where your next OHV adventure will take you? Outsiders Utah has your answer with downloadable GPS routes, ride times, distance, local amenities, and other details. 360 street views of the trails that let you explore before you go, and more. Eliminate the guesswork and uncertainty and find a trail you'll love. Visit outsidersutah.com and see the trail before you ride the trail.
Daggett, the sparsest populated county in Utah, is full of adventure. Seemingly endless territory, where after a few twists and turns, you can find yourself in a land that feels untouched by time. From desert to mountains and everything in between, Daggett County offers a picture-perfect experience for the modern explorer. It's what you find at the end of your adventure.
At Your Leisure has a long-standing reputation and a large, loyal audience of adventurers in the outdoors. Although we're excited to continue to grow and enjoy the shared success of our longtime sponsors, we have space for more. And if you have a brand that would benefit from the 2 decades of goodwill that we've built, contact us at ayltv.com and let us amplify your voice above the competition.
Hey, welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. I'm Scott Huntsman with TuneX, and I'm coming to you from my home because it is fall and it's time to start preparing our toys, my RV here being one of them, for a long winter's nap. So let's get a start. We'll go around back and we'll start with the freeze protection. Okay guys, so we're at the back of the RV, which on my model is where the water tank is stored. The hot water heater's back in the rear corner. Of course, you want to have your RV antifreeze. I'm going to have about 3 gallons to run through this. I have a hose here I keep in the trailer that has a fitting. I'm not going to put antifreeze into the main tank, but what I am going to do is remove the inlet off of the pump, which is the check valve and the strainer. This is where I'll make the connection to the hose I have to draw the antifreeze from the bottle as we run the plumbing. Now, before I start pumping the antifreeze through the system, I am going to drain the hot water tank. Hose to my pump now. I'm gonna stick it to the bottom of the jug. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna turn the water pump on. That's gonna start the pump running to pick up the antifreeze. Come, and I'll start with the cold first. And I'm gonna run it, and you'll get that nice pink color. Now we're gonna work some air out. And then I do the same with the hot. The kitchen sink was the farthest one from the tank. So that's gonna take the bulk of the antifreeze to go all the way to the very front. Everything is now at the back of the RV, so it won't have to run near as long. I'll run the cold and the hot long enough to get plenty of antifreeze through the pipes, and we're well protected because of that. Now, I'm gonna wrap this up and just take my line off, and it's good for winter. We'll move on to some electrical. All right, so now we're back up to the front of the RV. Keep in mind, a fully charged battery will not freeze. I will keep a trickle charger on them, but I don't take them out. The only thing I do is make sure I have the lid of the box on and covered up so no water can get inside the battery box. But I also check the electrolyte level first and top it off with distilled water only before we do that process. One other thing, while topping off the battery, I spilled a little bit of water, not accidentally. I do that on purpose. Why? Because I'm gonna wipe off the top. So we want this to just be cleaned off, and with water only. Now we're here at the tires. And this is the one thing that I like to do before I put this away for the winter, is I make sure that my tires are inflated all the way to the max load. And now you can see the way that my RV sits, it's gonna get direct sun into the tires. So I like to spray a UV protectant on it. This stuff is great. That's gonna extend the life of the tire for me for many years to come. So I'm not putting tires on every other year. All right, guys, you get the general idea of what it is that I do anyway. Keep in mind, there's a lot of different ways to go about this. I think I'm even going to invest in a cover to help protect the roof as well. Now, I'm all set for winter. It's not going to freeze. My batteries are set. My tires will be okay. Hey, I'm Scott Huntsman with TuneX. More At Your Leisure in a moment.
Unexplored. Does it mean riding the same trails as everyone else? Fishing the same lakes? Stopping at the same views? No. Unexplored is so much more. To find it, you need to get off the beaten path. In the northeast corner of Utah, you and your family can still find a land that's unexplored. The shores of Flaming Gorge are only the beginning of a family adventure in Daggett County. Daggett County, Utah. It's what you find at the end of your adventure.
At Stedman's Recreation, trucks are arriving daily with back-ordered side-by-sides, ATVs, and dirt bikes. Let Stedman's Recreation help get you outside so you can explore and create memories to last a lifetime. Call or stop by Stedman's to hold your side-by-side, ATV, or dirt bike with a small deposit. Yamaha, Honda, Polaris, and Beta. Plus, Stedman's has a full service department and Honda power equipment.
Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. You may think it's 300 miles out here, but remember, it's only 30 miles back.
Everybody always talks about the good old days when the grass was greener, the air was clearer, and adventure could be found in any direction. Well, the good old days are still here. You just need to know where to look. In Aurora, Utah, you can find everything you want out of life. Limitless OHV access, views that ignite the imagination, and destinations that remind you how the good old days are closer than you thought. Aurora, Utah, where the good old days are brand new.
You know, any of you watching at home, you just can't believe that's real. You think it's a studio, a movie studio backdrop that's painted, but I'm going to tell you, it's real. It's called Lightning Ridge. Welcome back to At Your Leisure.
Oh, this is a spectacular view. This trail so far has just been so amazing. You know when you say awesome and you're like, oh, you've overused that word. But go look up the word awesome in the dictionary and I swear that is this trail.
That's right.
It's really beautiful. It's every step you take, every wind. Amazing.
I mean, from here, the view is just so panoramically beautiful. You can see up the canyon, you can see down there rocky cliffs. It's all within eye shot. You can even see the little roads that go down in the valley on the other side.
And we've only been just, you know, for a couple hours. I mean, you don't have to go very far to get this point.
That, you know, Chad Dieter is just telling me there is so much more ahead.
I can't wait.
This is just stop number 1.
So I started Ride Utah just as a simple group to find people to ride with, and it's just grown, and we've grown with it, and we want it to grow naturally, and we love doing what we do with the group. We're here to start bridging gaps between other user groups, you know.
Other UTV groups,
Exactly, other UTV groups.
everybody that loves the outdoors,
And we're
trying
here
to
to-
unite everybody.
We're here to also help.
Even if it's not a big impact, every little bit helps. I mean, picking up garbage as you're driving down the road because somebody else has left it there is not, we try and leave no trace.
I mean, we'll gather up trash on the trail coming through here, throw it in the back of the Razor, throw it in the back of the KRX, at least it's not on the trail.
This is a great sized group. I have a tail gunner, John, just amazing. I couldn't do this without him. He's always keeping everybody in line, and I know that everybody's safe with him in the back.
We just, just the other day, posted up a Harley post. You know, I mean, we just want to see how people explore the outdoors. It doesn't matter what form of vehicle or feet or mode of transportation you have, horse. It's just, everybody we've met has been amazing. It's such a great community, and I can't believe how fast it's grown, and hopefully it'll keep
growing.
And people enjoy it. That's what we enjoy most about it.
To have a great day in the outdoors, it's easy. It is as easy as putting this event, this ride together.
Rain or shine.
Rain or shine. We ride every Sunday pretty much.
Well, you can see the passion that the clubs and organizations have, and there are a lot of good people that really just love to be outdoors.
In every way.
In every way. And it doesn't matter.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you're on the trail, you're on your horse, you're
Right.
on a single track,
Yep.
dual track, or even like a street bike. This is the Wolf Creek Pass, and we went with the Stedmans and rode this highway, missed our turn in it, clear up in Vernal. What a day that was.
It was. Now to think that we're like how many thousand feet up looking down?
Yeah, I was wondering who was spying on us that day where we missed our turn.
This has just been a spectacular ride.
It really has. And this group, Ride Utah, is just a fun bunch of people.
They are. They're great folks.
Anyway, right now it's time for us to move along to our Along the Way.
I'm Reese Stein, at your leisure along the way, cruising down the Rhone River in southern France, an area of spectacular beauty and a history that seems to go back forever, and it's reflected even today in the architecture of its wonderful cities and towns. Founded by Rome the year after Caesar's death, Lyon, France combines old world charm with a modern side. France's second city features a World Heritage Renaissance neighborhood with narrow streets and fun hidden alleyways. Located at the confluence of the Rhone and Saône rivers, celebrated with a spectacular museum said to resemble a floating crystal cloud. Travel back to the Middle Ages at the nearby walled village of Pérogie, a beautifully preserved ancient town of stone and wood that is still alive with homes, shops, and cafes. Our home for the week is the 190-passenger Viking Delling, designed for the river with a roof deck, providing a 360-degree view of the passing French countryside.
I like the trip. I like the calm of the river at night, and just sitting and watching the scenery go by and stuff. You can see villages way out in the distance.
22 miles downstream, the city of Vienne, converted to a Roman town by Julius Caesar, it still shows off its 2,000-year-old roots. Walk on a stretch of a cobbled Roman road. Pause at the first-century temple of Augustus and Livia in the heart of town, or climb city streets to Mount Pippin for the best view of the 13,000-seat first-century theater still in use today. Heading downstream to Tournon-sur-Rhône, visit to the world champion patisserie, cake and candy shop. Then a 90-minute journey in the open cars of a 19th century steam train chugging slowly up the Ardèche River Valley. The mountain scenery spectacular as the train crawls along the narrow gauge track, passing bridges that tower over the breathtaking gorge, through tunnels dug into the steep cliffs of the canyon. At the turnaround, crewmen rotate the 20-ton locomotive on an ancient hand-powered turntable, setting it right for the return trip. On to Arles, known as the brief but productive home of Vincent van Gogh, with sights such as the Yellow Café he immortalized in oil, and the very spot where he painted the river version of Starry Night. We visit the garden of the hospital where Van Gogh was treated after cutting off part of his ear. This is how Van Gogh saw it in June of 1889. And finally to Avignon, in the 14th century, home to 7 popes instead of Rome. Fronting the sprawling main square, the Palace of Popes, the largest Gothic palace in Europe. Impressive outside, interior tours visit 25 mostly empty rooms. And nearby, the massive Pont du Gard Aqueduct, one of antiquity's greatest architectural masterpieces. 900 feet long, and at 150 feet high, it is the tallest of all Roman aqueducts. Its 52 arches incredibly well preserved. It's a World Heritage Site, popular for photographers as well as bathers and boaters. This magnificent structure is the perfect culmination to our cruise down the Rhone River.
This trip has been a life-changing experience.
Reese Stein at your leisure along the way in southern France.
Where is Aurora, Utah? That's a good question. But here's a better one. Why should Aurora, Utah be your next destination? Some people will ask, where can I go on my next adventure? A better question is, how far can I go on my next adventure? In Aurora, the answer is as far as your gas tank will take you. Aurora, all 570 in the heart of central Utah. Aurora, Utah, where the good old days are brand new.
It's here. Join us for the 4th annual Rally in Bullfrog Valley at the Chickaboo Lodge. It's an adventure that's millions of years in the making. Prizes for the most dynamite machine. Guided rides. Great food. November 4th, 5th, and 6th. Register today at northlakepowell.com.
When you're ready for adventure, fuel your machine with Clear 91. Fuel for performance, fuel for adventure, and fuel for the long haul. ethanol-free, 91 octane. Fill up with Clear 91. Only available at Eagles Landing. With you for the long haul.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, riding with Ride Utah. Behind us is the iconic scene of Utah, the high Uintas. If you look closely, you can see that rounded mountain is Mount Baldy, and you can see Kings Peak, the highest peak in Utah, pointing out all by itself.
How did you know that? Did somebody tell you that?
Yeah, well, you took geology or state history in
Illinois.
Yeah, so you missed all this stuff.
What do I know? That is a magnificent sight. I'm telling you, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's very, very, very pretty sight. And you know, we've had a lot of fun today. I mean, we've made a lot of new friends here at Ride Utah. Great group. In fact, go on to AYL 24/7, get some behind-the-scenes stuff, meet some of them.
Yeah.
Find out a few things that happened today. Somebody got a ticket, and somebody fell asleep riding on these rocky trails.
It was, you know what, when you're out here this long, those things are bound to happen.
Exactly.
And we saw a really rare bird. I would call it a rara avis. I think that's what they say in Latin. It was the weirdest looking bird. Brett got it, and we're gonna see if we can figure out what it is.
All right, so yeah, check that out. Right. Tell us see if you can tell us what it is right now. Here's a look at next week's show.
Next week, Chad is heading back to school as we're attending a privately sponsored motorcycle training class for folks in the trucking industry.
Then we are showing off some more great fall excursions that you'll want to be a part of before the season is gone as we join Dig Paddle Sports for a fun day on the water at Quail Creek State Park.
Finally, we're joining the folks from Disabled Sportsmen who are working in conjunction with the Range Valley Ranch in helping one young man's dream come true. Now let's take a look at some upcoming events.
Now, on October 29th at the Hoovers Resort in Marysville, we are kicking off the best Halloween OHV ride in the state. Be sure to mark your calendars for some great fun, self-guided rides, costume contests, and of course, the Haunted Forest at the Halloween Howl.
Then on November 4th through the 6th is the 4th annual rally at Bullfrog Valley, which includes Dr. Josh Lively, who will give interpretive discussions about the area's geology, dinosaur history, and will also do a little fossil hunting.
Next week's show looks really good, but it can't be today because the weather was perfect, the company was perfect, the scenery was stellar. So
yeah, this was a really hard day to beat, and the club was primo. What a fantastic club.
Tony, I gotta thank you for putting such a great trail together. That was good.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
And you can join this club, right?
Absolutely. All you have to do is remember Ride Utah. And you can find the club, join it. Doesn't matter what your outdoor persuasion is, you're welcome there.
Did you have fun, Bentley?
Yeah.
There you go.
Good.
That's it. If the kids have fun, it's always good.
There's the testimonial. Like we say every week, there is adventure around every bend.
Just got to get out there and create your own adventure
at your leisure.
Woo!